Hi, the end of the tax year is fast approaching. It's this Thursday, the 5th of April, and the start of the new tax year is on Friday, the 6th of April. Now, at this time of the year, people are doing last minute planning, and you might be thinking about making contributions into a pension or using up a capital gains tax allowance, maybe even inheritance tax planning. But the one I wanted to concentrate on just now, at this kind of very late stage, is cash ISAs. You're allowed to invest up to £5,340 per person per tax year in a cash ISA, and the allowance is going up to 5640 on Friday, the 6th of April, the start of the new tax year. So if you haven't already used up the full allowance, or you haven't made a contribution at all, but you know that you might want to make a contribution next year, and it will be useful to have some made already this year so that you can put more in altogether, then you've got only a few more days really to play with. It may well be this weekend is your last chance, and the early start of next week perhaps. So this is just for those of you that might want to think about that. I just wanted to introduce you to a few different websites that you could use to compare different interest rates, and the different offers that people are making. So first of all, this is the Money Advice Service. If you click on the tools and planners and then click on comparison tables, we can search for, here we've got stocks and shares ISAs. If we look under savings accounts, compare savings accounts, let's say we wanted to put in up to £3,000. We don't want to make any regular deposits. We want it to be tax free and the interest, and we don't want any notice to be served. Now you can choose one where you have a fixed interest rate for a specific period, like a year or 2 years or 3 years. Others where there are notice, you have to make a notice to make withdrawals, and others you can just get instant access. And so let's say we choose that one. Let's say they just want to know here that you're over the age of 18, and let's say we're searching for the highest interest rate first. So this then shows us a table of the different ones on offer, and it shows us the different interest rates, and each of those it's showing the rate type is variable. We could have searched for variable or fixed and it would have shown you which was which. And if we click on them, we can find out a little bit more about what they're offering. And what you might want to look at is the whether they're accessible via internet, phone, or post, and choose what would be most appropriate for you. So you might want to use one that's internet mainly, certainly has internet access. This one doesn't. That's the kind of thing you want to look for. Um, so that's one. So one by one, you could have a quick look at these different products. The next website I was going to show you is moneysupermarket.com. Now, if we click on money, scroll down, compare cash ISAs, we've now got a table, which the first section is cash ISAs with bonus, and the next section is with no bonus. So what that means is that nowadays what a lot of them are doing is they're offering an introductory bonus rate, which might be something like 1% or 1.75% for a year. And they're relying on the fact that we don't bother changing it after a year. And then thereafter, that bonus rate, which quite often forms the major part of the interest rate on that account, um, is wiped out. So if it was a 3% rate with a 1.5% bonus, then you know the rate's effectively going down to 1.5%, or whatever the prevailing rate is at that time, but you know that bonus isn't going to be included. So the chances are it's going to become uncompetitive after a year. So those kind of accounts, you're expected to, they rely on the fact that you won't, but what would be good is to do that, open an account like that, but then transfer it within the year, so that you, or certainly after that 12 months, so you continue to get a high interest rate. If you know you're never going to get around to doing that, then it would be better to select one that pays no bonus, and then the chances are it's more likely to be competitive throughout, although you still need to check the interest rate, and I would suggest that you look maybe once once a year anyway at the interest rate and see if it's still competitive. So this gives you a list of all the ones on offer. Uh, for, Here we can see exactly what is the bonus and how long does it last. The other important thing is whether they allow transfers in or not, So if you've got an old one that's you're sitting on that is paying 0.5%, you could transfer it into your new one, but double check that they allow that. Also, an important one for now is the deadline. So this one, for instance, it closes on the 2nd of April. This one, the 1st of April, and some of them you've got a little bit longer, like the 5th of April. So have a look at that. And again, we can find out things like unlimited withdrawals without penalty, all the different terms, whether it's online, telephone branch, that kind of thing. So we can compare that with what we'd already found perhaps in the money advice service comparison. And finally, I'm just going to show you one more, just in case you're the kind of person that would like to compare a few and see which comes out best, just so that you can see that they're all stacking up against each other. So this one also, we've now got a list, and this shows in a different way some of the accessibility of the account and some of the way it works. You can click on any of the buttons to proceed, and you find out more about the product. So I hope that gives you some kind of an idea, and here's my contact details if I can be of any help. Thank you for listening.